Hey, what's up? I'm Ga. This is Seven Mortal Sins. Welcome. Today I got kind of a serious but not really topic I wanted to talk to you guys about, and that would be Burnout. So I've been seeing a lot of longtime players just kind of quit the game lately because they're burnt out, and I wanted to kind of give you some, I guess, tips and tricks on how to avoid that. So a lot of games that I've played, I've stuck with like for a really long time. Back when I was playing Fire Emblem Heroes, I played that game for almost 2 years. I played Dragalia Lost for almost 3 years. I've played both the Pokemon TCG and the Yu-Gi-Oh TCG for years and years and years. And I mean, burnout is inevitable. Like, everyone's gonna quit someday, no matter what game, what hobby. It's just something that happens naturally. So there are ways to like slow it down. And I kind of wanted to share some of my experiences with you guys. Some things that I've picked up from playing games, and hopefully they help you. Because if you find something that you really like and enjoy, and you genuinely want to stick with it, then you can. So my first thing would be avoid FOMO. And if you don't know what FOMO is, it's an acronym that stands for fear of missing out. It is a common tactic that gacha games and games with like PvP and stuff employ to get you to play, to get you to spend, and it's really predatory, honestly, because like they'll throw a bunch of things at you and be like, oh, you gotta get this new shiny toy, you don't want to miss out, everybody else is gonna have it and you won't. Well, just ignore that. Like, it's hard, but just ignore it. It's a game. It's supposed to be something you enjoy at your leisure, that you play for fun, right? Like, it's not a life or death situation. It's like, yeah, you might have missed that one character, but did you die? No. Like, just ignore the FOMO. Like, it's really hard, but the easiest thing to do would be so what a lot of gacha games will do is they'll have like little price packages. They're like, oh, this one's only like 99 cents, and once you buy that, that's kind of like the gateway into the bigger purchases. Well, if you just reverse engineer that process, skip something, like skip something small, right? And then eventually, you can skip something a little bit bigger, and then like when something huge comes out that you're not prepared for or whatever, you can just be like, okay, I don't need that, I'll skip it. So you just kind of like reverse engineer like the anti-FOMO process. Like it takes some time, but let's call it the DGAF, for don't give a fuck. And that's the anti-FOMO. So a good way to help avoid FOMO actually is to have other hobbies. So like I mentioned, like I'm not just playing this game, like I also play Genshin Impact. I recently learned how to play Magic the Gathering, working on a commander format deck. My friend got me into the Digimon trading card game. I still play a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh! I still have some friends that play Pokemon, and like we get together and do like a whole bunch of different things. Like, this isn't my life, which leads me to my next topic, which would be don't revolve your life around the game. And what I mean by that is like, don't get so into it where you feel like this stuff actually matters, right? Because it's a game. Like, you know, as soon as you start to make this your life, even the smallest of disappointments become crushing blows of depression. It's like, oh, I lost the 50-50, or like I didn't reach pity, and you get like super, super depressed. And when you're depressed, you get desperate, and you start reaching into that bank account, pulling out hundreds and hundreds of dollars until you're just left empty inside. But if you can find like a way to let go, like I said, have other hobbies, don't give a fuck, you know, to where you can just enjoy this game for what it is. And this goes for any game, honestly. Just enjoy it for what it is. Don't center your life around it. Don't like let it grab hold of you, you know. And if you're at that point, maybe it's time to take a break or reevaluate your attitude towards the game. You know, take a little bit of time off to clear your head, maybe go get some post-nut clarity, and just kind of like reevaluate your situation. Maybe come back and lower your expectations a little bit. I know that sounds not great, because, you know, like everyone will come in and they're like, oh man, I really want this character, I saved up gems, and I really want to get as many copies of them as possible, and then they get like one, or they like blow their whole stash and are forced to go to pity every time. It's like, well, if you go look at the rates, there's a 1%, 2%, like, you'll get lucky sometimes, you know. I see people pull in on-banner characters off their free dailies, but you cannot expect the game to give you anything outside of what's guaranteed from pity. So like, even if you have like 30, 40, 50, 60,000 gems, there's still the possibility, the very real possibility, that you'll never actually pull the character and you'll be forced to go to pity every single time. And once you understand that, it's a lot easier to cope with. And also, guys, the desire sensor is very, very real. It's like a long-standing, almost kind of meme now. But you ever had like an ad or something, like a targeted ad? Like, you'll just be on your phone scrolling through, and it's like, hey, I was just thinking about that the other day. Like, how did they know that I was looking for this? Or like, you'll say something, or like you'll be out with your friends, or it's like, man, this tequila is really good, or whatever, and then, you know, you'll jump on your phone, start scrolling, you see like an ad for what you guys were talking about. It's wild. So the desire sensor is real. The more you want something, the more it's kind of pulled out of your reach a little bit, like almost like a carrot on a string. They're just like, oh, no, I gotta get that, and they just kind of like keep it just out of reach. So it's a joke, it's funny, but just understand that letting go will kind of help with that. And another good thing is find a community for the game, find people you enjoy talking to, and engage in the community. So that way, when there's not a whole lot going on in the game, maybe you're getting a little too bored, or you're getting burnt out, you're getting frustrated, you can go talk to people. And having people to talk to is absolutely huge. Even if you're not always constantly talking about, you know, what's going on in the game, maybe things are a little bit slow, you'll find other things to talk about that'll kind of take your mind off of it, or ease the pain, so to speak. But having community, even if you never see them in real life, you never see their face, you never get to hear their voice, just having somebody to talk to, and knowing they're there, you know, is really important. You can just be like, you pop on the Discord, you know, like the unofficial, official Seven Mortal Sins Discord, link in the description. You pop on there, man, I got garbage pulls. I don't know what happened, and you know, you'll get a bunch of people like, yeah, you know, same happened to me, and like you can kind of joke about it, and then one guy will be like, hey, well, I got this on my first free daily, and he's be like, hey, you know, fuck you, and blah blah blah, and just have a good time and joke around and mess around, and I feel like that's also really good for your mental state as well. And that's really what it's all about. Gacha games kind of try to prey on your mentality, but if you can work around that, you can still enjoy the game for what it is, and if you genuinely like it, you can stick with it as long as you know your limits, you keep your mentality healthy. Mental health, very important, and find people you can talk to and trust, and just kind of joke around with. It makes things a lot easier. If you guys have any stories you want to share about your gaming experiences, feel free to comment down below. If you just want to talk, say, hey, what's up, whatever, you know, I'm here. But with that, I gotta get going. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.